Hello, I'm Paul J. Goddard from Manchester, and today I'm going to be conducting some interviews with the general public all about mental health, what their struggles are, how they cope, what they do in their day-to-day lives to manage their mental health capacity, and how they get out of that rut of thinking negatively about themselves. So let's break the stigma, make the difference, let's get people talking more. Cheers. What's your name, pal?
Will.
Will, I'm Paul. Good to meet you, Will.
Nice to meet
So Will, do you suffer with mental health at all yourself, or do you know anyone who does?
Suffers. I think suffers a strong word. I think everyone's
So do you have elements of mental health then?
Yeah. Obviously, mental health shifting constantly, and everyone goes through waves. But I wouldn't say I've suffered from an illness, particularly myself. But obviously, know people who have.
Okay.
So
What have them experiences been like?
tough, but it's always. I guess it's important to keep it in perspective, and it's always tougher for the person going through it. So just supporting them is important.
You're just there for them. And
Yeah,
to help them
less.
through.
I don't think I've ever been involved in impacting it so much. More just the support network around them. To be fair, so yeah.
Just being a good friend then.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
essentially.
all people need,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the stigma of mental health then?
I mean, it's becoming more and more prevalent day by day, really. But yeah, especially with males and talking about it, it is still a bit of a taboo topic.
It's a little, isn't it?
Yeah, recent deaths and stuff that have had a lot of media coverage, especially, have highlighted how much of an issue it still is.
And they begin to come forward more, don't they?
Yeah, especially with Angus Cloud on the media recently, him suffering in silence is a big thing. So yeah,
It's not enough, is it really?
no,
It's really
I
not.
need
But
to start talking about it more.
yeah, we do.
But yeah,
Sure. Thanks, Will. Appreciate your
no
time.
worries. Thank you very much.
Have a top day. Thanks for being
Yeah,
open.
you too, mate.
Cheers for that. Hello there. You okay? What's your name?
Good, David.
David. Yeah. Paul.
Paul, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you
Good,
very
good.
much, David. Cheers. So, have you ever assisted anybody with mental health, and what did you do to combat that?
I have done. I mean, I'm not a mental health expert in any way, but in a previous job, which involved quite a bit of working with the public, there was an issue where I was working in a hotel abroad, and the people were there for 2 weeks on holiday, and one particular lady had some severe mental health issues, as her husband at the time put it. So while he was out looking after the kids, I spent quite a bit of time with her. I think from my perspective, it was more about just listening to her, understanding exactly how she was feeling.
Being an ear.
Just being there, not trying to offer advice, because as I say, I wasn't professional in any
You're
way.
not qualified.
Not qualified to do
Yeah,
it, but
yeah,
just
yeah.
listening and hoping, I guess, that just through that listening, that I'd be able to offer some sort of support or I don't know,
But sometimes that's more than enough anyway
Yeah.
in itself. That's a beautiful thing you did there. It really is. So like, you just obviously you've seen this person in crisis.
Mhm.
You see that they needed assisting, and you just listen to them.
Yeah.
Just let them say what they needed to say. No
Yeah.
judgment.
Yeah.
In a comfortable environment, making them feel as easy as possible.
Exactly.
Wow, that's incredible. That truly is. Have you had any complications with mental health yourself?
I have actually, yeah. Must be about 10 years ago, maybe slightly longer, maybe 12 years ago, I had some difficult mental health issues, took some counselling, went for some counselling, supported by some medication as well at the time.
Okay.
It was difficult because I wasn't really able to pinpoint exactly why I was having these issues or these feelings or feeling a certain way.
Did you manage to figure that out?
I did.
That's good.
But it was good again, much like I did with the woman I've just mentioned. It was great having just family and friends around to listen and just be a bit of a sounding board. They weren't great for advice. You know, I was in a state of mind where when they tried to offer advice, you know, it was. I didn't want to hear it.
Was your independence kicking in?
Yeah.
You just sort of fighting it off.
I was fighting it off.
He was doing absolutely solid for you.
That's not what
he was
I
like,
need.
No. He was like, no, go away, bye bye.
Exactly.
But yeah, every
exactly
single time they were saying whatever they were saying was all right.
Yeah. All with good intentions.
scheme of things, yeah.
I just didn't find that it was helping. But when they just
That's that animalistic male nature, isn't it? Kicking in there. We can't help it.
It is exactly that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, no, that's not what I need to hear right now. But just for them knowing that they were there, and you know, we're there as a sounding board and we listened. That was in retrospect now, not so much time in retrospect now, I can see how much that really helped me through that.
Because that was just showing that someone in the world gives a damn about you.
Yeah.
That there was someone that cares about you. And that sometimes that attention and that love can be enough to obviously assist you in getting out of this out of this mess.
It is, and you don't necessarily realise it at the time because you're in such a, you know, it's a cliche to use this phrase, but that you're in such a dark place yourself that you don't think that, you know, anyone can help you, anyone can pull you out. But it's looking back now, you know, it's just having those people around to be there as a sounding board and ultimately knowing that they were there and they were loved ones and they were there to support me in anything that I was going through. It was just it's a great thing if someone can do that for someone else.
That's brilliant, that really is. So do you feel comfortable now speaking about this type of things?
Yeah.
And do you actually feel like you can handle it better now? And do you feel stronger in yourself?
Yeah, I do.
We've made massive progress now, haven't you?
Most definitely. It's knowing the signs or knowing the triggers. But it's not just helped me, it's helped me, I guess, learn to identify that in other people. You know, as people that I know, when you can see certain changes.
Don't be judging in that. Don't do it.
Judging,
it's rude, isn't it?
It's just rude, and there's a reason for it. You know,
there's always a reason.
And they'll, you know, if they want to tell you about it, they can tell you about it.
Could be physical, mental, whatever kind of trauma it may be.
Yeah.
There's always like an underlying issue. Could obviously that's leading them to be behaving in the way they do.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of people that are kind of angry and outbursty and kind of not really collected and sort of chilled. They're obviously their mental health is off the charts because they don't even know. Maybe that could be an identity crisis. So it could be something that's happened in their previous life, which is ruining the person they are today. And it's them type of people that think they need to talk more and seek service and get the help they need because to obviously better themselves and better their lives and then around them as well. You know, it doesn't just affect one person, does it? Mental health affects everybody around the person that cares about them as well.
I just think as well that we become so involved or ingrained in our own everyday lives that, you know, for people that haven't fortunately experienced any mental health issues themselves or had to deal with any mental health issues, again, another cliche, but you don't always know what someone else is going through.
No.
You don't have a clue, you know, because you're so ingrained in your own life and every day. And I'm coming back from work right now, and
we're conditioned to be selfish.
It was work all day.
Yeah.
And you know, somebody could have been sat opposite me or sat near me in the office today who was going through mental health issues. And I think, you know, when people are a certain way around you and they don't see themselves, it's important that you as an individual take a step back and think, okay, well, is there something deeper going on here? Is there something else which they, you know, has them acting this way today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you for your time.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing it. You were a
No,
star.
thank you.
And well done for getting through all that as well.
No, thank you.
Proud of you.